Alright, this new Soulblind song fucking rocks. It's called
Dino. I've seen this band quite a few times. Always really enjoyed them. Played with them at Blissmas in Buffalo last year. Yeah, honestly, I always really liked this band. Thought they were kind of like the better band of the new gaze, shoegaze thing. But I'm actually really stoked to see them take a step away from the never-ending trend of hardcore guys playing shoegaze. Yeah, they're kind of turning into more of just a straight alt-rock band, in my opinion. And this song particularly having a really heavy Alice in Chains feel. Super chunky as fuck. Cantrell, Alice in Chains style guitar riffs, minor third harmonies just out the ass, kind of Soundgarden vibe too. The clean parts have a lot of cool chorus, very 90s. Dive bombs, crazy bends, harmonies all over the whole thing. Yeah, I like the first single off this record, but this one especially I thought was super cool. Can't wait for the rest of this album. Shout out to Finn. Alright, the second album I really loved this week, which I think this did come out a couple weeks ago, and I just finally got around to really digging my teeth into it, is the new Hold Me Down record. Hold Me Down is from Richmond. Awesome industrial, noise-heavy, harsh. I don't even want to call it metal. It's just really straight 90s industrial. They have a new album called Devour on Sentient Ruin. And yeah, this thing is fucking nasty as fuck and totally disgusting and rocks. Black Magnet played with them on tour when we played in Richmond last year. And I really like their previous album, but this new one is just even better and takes what they were doing to a whole new level. Yeah, it's just as vile and just as atmospheric. Industrial drum machines mixed with super harsh noise, really crushing Godflesh style bass and guitar, but super unique, and the vocals really offset that expected industrial sound where they almost have like a black metal tinge to it, kind of a power electronics vibe happening. It's super tough while also being like the antithesis of tough guy music. It has just like a really direct and desperate and horrifying vibe where it kind of feels like you're trapped in a cage of a, you know, horror B movie, but feels really real and not cheesy or gimmicky, I guess. Yeah, you can definitely hear a lot of power electronics, lots of just harsh noise wall, but the riffs are really cool, really repetitive, really punishing, and yeah, I really love this band. Go listen to it. Alright, the third single I wanted to talk about was the new Trace Amount single called Restricted Area. Longtime homie Brandon Gallagher knocked it out of the park with this one. It's just maximum industrial perfection in his signature style. I think this is him at an all-time high, really honing in his unique industrial percussive style. He's originally a drummer and also a singer, so him going in this direction totally makes sense. Yeah, I just thought this song was outstanding and way more dynamic than his previous work in songwriting, structure, and just overall dimension and sound. His vocals have really grown a ton and are just more punishing than ever. I think Harlan from Show Me the Body helped produce this one. I've always had a lot of admiration for him and that band. And yeah, props to Brandon on this one. I can't wait to hear more of what he has coming out, which I think is going to be out on Yosef's label called Bleak House. Oh my god, this fucking Poppy, AmyLee, Courtney LaPlante collab. I mean, I didn't expect it to be an outstanding, incredible feat of songwriting, production, or musicianship. And it's just more of the same of like this generic liquid metal kind of production that all stuff like this sort of has. Super overcompressed guitars, sample replaced drums, squashed to fuck tuned vocals, and all three incredibly talented singers. I'm also like a major Poppy apologizer and like fan of a lot of her stuff. And you know, I didn't have high expectations for this, but you would think it was just, you know, things could maybe change with three queens like this getting together on a collab track. I think Poppy's screaming part is probably the coolest part of the song, just like I thought the coolest part of that Knocked Loose single was her vocals. But yeah, I mean, if I was, you know, offered a collab with them, I would probably do the same. All right, let's get into the new horror record, H09909. Always been a longtime fan of this band. Ever since they were even doing some more of like the punk sound and moving into industrial electronic stuff.
Here we go again with the same old shit. Another young black nigga with a big ass dick. With the same white bitch got the big ass tits. If you ain't got no money, she ain't sucking no dick.
Yeah, this record is kind of them definitely making a change and evolution and leap forward. All the songs are really different. There's still like a lot of their kind of fast Memphis rap style mixed with industrial and electronic stuff. There's sort of like some, I don't want to say dubstep, but just some very bouncy electronic EDM type stuff on it. I think is really cool. Lots of guitars on it, lots of live drums. I think Billy Reimer is playing drums for them, the Dillinger Escape playing drummer. Also, Greg Puchado is on a song. Props to Greg. It's one of my favorite songs on this one. Yeah, I love the singles from it. Every song is really, really dynamic and really, really different. There's some songs I liked more than others. As it developed and got going, songs like Target Practice, Psychic Jumper, Incline. The single Upside Down was really, really good. Greg's song is called Tapeworm. There's a Chelsea Wolfe collab on it, which is really fucking cool. And yeah, like I've got mad respect for Edie and the crew on this one. A new single from Australian band Speed. Song is called Peace. I really, really love this band. I saw them with Knocked Loose and Show Me the Body on that big tour all those bands did. And yeah, this song kind of continues in their New York hardcore style, but done in a really, really creative way where they understand song dynamics. It's not just fast part, breakdown, two-step, repetitious over and over. The song really breathes and has a lot of space, which I always thought their other songs did too. The vocals are really cool. They have like a old school Roger Miret, Agnostic Front, Victim in Pain. There's a really cool kind of like heavenly choir sample in the middle of this song right before the breakdown, which is unique. I always like how they use flute in some of their songs. Even live they used a flute. Yeah, it has actual changes in parts, not just a breakdown over and over. I don't think it's anything groundbreaking, but it's hardcore done with a really fresh attitude you don't see much in the States. And this band has a really kick-ass fun stage presence. They all look like bodybuilders, or half of them. And yeah, mad respect to these Aussies. Alright, I think the main song I hate the most right now has to be this new Spiritual Cramp song, At My Funeral. And I think they have another single, Young Offender. Never really understood this band. Kind of had like a Clash, ska, Britpop, I guess, thing happening. But it's like all the worst parts of that music. Really kitschy, kind of tongue-in-cheek, fun, drunk guys in the pub music, I guess. Yeah, just really don't like this at all and wouldn't recommend it, especially for a band named after a Christian death song. Not that you have to be in the same genre as this song of the band name you're paying homage to, but just goddamn. And there's like 7 people in the band. It's like a kind of like punk version of Bon Iver or something. Don't really understand the vibe, the dancing. This video is just fucking atrocious. Just goddamn. There's just nothing happening here. And I used to live in San Francisco. I'm wearing a GX1000 shirt right now.